Want bakery-style chocolate chip cookies that are soft, chewy, and evenly baked and not domed on top? I'll show you how to make them. No chilling required. Hello friends, and welcome to Butterfly Meadows Homestead. I'm Dorinda. And today I am going to be making soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies from scratch. The kind of homemade cookies that are comforting, simple, and absolutely delicious. And stay with me until the very end because I'm going to share with you a bonus cookie tip that will change the way you bake cookies. So let's go over the ingredients you're going to need to make these cookies, and you will find out what my secret ingredient is in these cookies.
You will need 2 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. You will need 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of vegetable shortening or butter, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt, about 1 1/2 cups of chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar.
First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add to that my 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm using pink Himalayan salt, which has a little bit coarser grind than your table salt. If you're using regular white table salt, you might want to reduce the salt to about 3/4 of a teaspoon because you don't want them to be too salty. Do the dry flour so that I can be certain it mixes into the cookies well. Because when everything mixes together really good, that makes for a great cookie. And as we mix this dough, you're going to see how easy it is to make bakery style cookies at home. These cookies, the dough does not require any refrigeration before baking. I'm going to set this aside. Oh, I didn't get all of my salt. Let's make sure we get all that in there. Next, I'm going to take our eggs and I'm going to crack them into this bowl. And using a fork, I'm just going to whisk them a little bit. And then to the eggs, I'm going to add my vanilla and my white vinegar. That little bit of white vinegar makes such a big difference in your cookies. I have tried it both ways, with and without, and you definitely can tell the difference. It keeps them soft and it makes them chewy. You cannot taste the vinegar, but it just affects the cookie texture, and you will love it. I'm going to set this aside. So first we want to cream together our shortening and our sugars. And I'm going to be using my new Kamic mixer for this. I've only used this mixer a few times. I have made bread with it. I've made this cookie recipe several times with it, and it does a really good job. And if you haven't seen the unboxing video of this, I'll put a link to it right here and you can check that out. This came from Amazon and I got a really good deal on it. And I'll put a link to this mixer in the description box below. So I'm going to put my batter paddle on here. And I'm just going to put the sugar in. And my 1 cup of butter flavored shortening. Now, if you are totally against shortening, you can use butter if you want to, but the shortening does give the cookies a better texture and helps them hold their shape better while they are baking, which is why one of the reasons we don't have to refrigerate our dough. So we're just going to let this cream together for a few minutes. Well, not for a few minutes, just for a couple of minutes. So now that we have our shortening and our sugar creamed together, we are going to add our eggs, our vanilla, and our vinegar. And we're going to cream that together. We're also going to scrape down the sides of our bowl before we get started here. And it only takes that about a minute or less before it is nice and fluffy and all incorporated together. And now we can add our flour and our baking soda and our salt. So now we are ready to add our chocolate chips. And you can do this however you want. You can use the mixer to add them, or you can fold them in by hand. Sometimes if you use the mixer, it might crush the chocolate chips. I've done it both ways. And that is pretty easy to fold those in. And so now we are ready to put them onto our cookie sheet. To bake our cookies, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and have your oven rack in about the center of the oven. And I'm using my very well loved, used, I don't know if this is considered a whole sheet or a half sheet baking pan, but I can fit about 6 cookies on here without them touching each other. I am making these for a special occasion, and I want them all to be the same size if possible, and not let the edges touch. And we're going to scoop them out here, and I just use a tablespoon. And for the size of cookie I want, I like to have a heaping tablespoon. And just form that into a ball in your hands. And put it, I put parchment paper in the cookie pan, in the cookie sheet. And I actually have 3 sheets of parchment paper in the pan. And that is so that when these come out of the oven, I can lift the first parchment sheet off and put it on the counter to cool, and then go ahead and put the next batch of cookies onto the pan. So we're just going to roll that out. Now, you can either, depending on how you want your cookie, you can either leave that just like that in a ball and it will bake just fine, or you can press it out slightly, which is what I'm going to do. Not really thin, but just press it out slightly so that you get a wider, thinner cookie. Not real thin, but just a wider, thinner cookie. And you should be able to get anywhere from 2 to 2.5 dozen cookies from this this recipe, depending on the size you make your cookies. You can make them bigger or smaller, and that will determine how many cookies you get. I usually get around 2 dozen. And these come out of the oven with a chewy center, melty chocolate, and crispy edges. Absolutely perfect. And because we used vegetable shortening and the added secret ingredient of the vinegar, we did not have to refrigerate our dough. So if you're using butter, you're probably going to want to refrigerate your dough until it just, I don't know, some people do it overnight, or you can do it for a couple of hours, or however long that you have that you can wait to keep your cookies from spreading too much. You can actually weigh each scoop if you want, and if you had a cookie scooper, you know, that looks like a little ice cream scoop, that would probably help you get them all the same size as well. So we are ready to put these into the oven, and I have found that for the size I make my cookies, about 9 minutes in the 350-degree oven turns out perfectly. But you'll want to watch your first batch to see how long your oven takes. And what you want is them to begin looking a little golden around the edges, but the middle might look like it's not quite done. But it'll start to turn brown around the edges. But don't wait for that middle to get done, because at that point your cookie is overcooked. So you'll want to take it out of the oven as soon as the edges are brown, even though the center might look undone. So we're going to pop these in a 350-degree oven for about 9 minutes. So here's our first batch of cookies hot out of the oven. And I don't know if the camera can pick up how they are just slightly golden on the edges. Just barely. We don't want a burnt cookie. It is important that you are careful with your cookies when you first take them out of the oven. They are in kind of a delicate state, kind of like a cake that is rising. So we want to let them sit here on the pan for about a minute or so and let everything set up and cool off. And then we can take our first parchment paper sheet off and sit it on the counter to cool and put our second batch of cookies in to bake. So we're just going to get this parchment paper on opposite corners and gently lift it very carefully and lay it right there on the counter. And now we are free to go ahead and fix our next batch of cookies, and we're going to get all of these baked up, then I'll show you the final results. All right, so here's the bonus tip that I promised you earlier in the video. This chocolate chip cookie dough is actually a base cookie dough, meaning you can leave the chocolate chips out and make almost any kind of cookie that you would want to make. You could add coconut, macadamia nuts, white chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, toffee chips, butterscotch chips, chopped nuts of any kind, dried cherries, M&Ms, and even lemon zest. So you can use this cookie base recipe to make all kinds of cookies. So save this video for the next time you want to make cookies, and you will have your cookie base recipe right here. And here is another extra bonus tip on how to store your chocolate chip cookies or any cookie so that they stay fresh and don't get stale and hard. Take the container you're going to store the cookie in and a slice of bread. How about that end piece nobody wants to eat? And place it in the bottom of your storage container. Lay a piece of parchment paper on top of the bread. And then place your cookies in the container. And just fill the container up. This is a small container I have just for an example, but whatever container you have, one slice of bread should be enough. And then just seal the container. You need an airtight container. And now your cookies will not dry out and will not get hard. And once the cookies are gone, you can just throw the bread away. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to the channel for more cooking tutorials. So we are putting our last batch of cookies on our cookie sheet to bake, and I just want to add here that using the parchment paper on your cookie sheet does two things. One, it keeps the cookies from sticking. You will never have a stuck cookie if you place them on parchment paper, not wax paper, parchment paper. And two, it keeps them from getting too brown on the bottom. The color of the pan you bake in affects the color of the crust of whatever is touching the pan that you are baking. And the parchment paper, regardless of the color of your pan, the parchment paper will keep the cookie from sticking, and it will also keep it from burning, getting too brown on the bottom before the cookie gets done. I got almost 2 dozen cookies, but this was the last bit of dough, so that will be the baker's treat when it gets done, and I will have 23 cookies.